What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Verdependent podcast, where we depend on the Verde Black for our everyday vibes. This week, we recap Austin's league action against RSL and away at San Diego. We hop the jet and check in on Serie A and the J League, and preview our road match against Colorado Rapids before closing out the episode with a stoppage time rundown of the hottest Austin FC, MLS, and World Footy storylines of the past week. I'm Paul Fletes.
And I'm Logan Bartlett.
Lobar, happy Pride Month, G.
Right back at you, dog.
Yeah, man. This is it.
The people.
It's the one, June. Just a quick side note. I think you and I both decided that I think it's 2 Fridays from now. We're heading over to the 1972 pub to catch a little San Diego Wave, a little Houston Dash, a little NWSL rivalry between us two boys. So we're going to hit up, the 1972 pub. I think that game starts at 7. So, listener, if you want to come through and say hi, catch a little women's footy, it'll be a good time. But encourage you to do that. But
that'll be on Friday, June 13th, as in.
There you go, the 13th. Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and do our usual. Start off with the preheated take for us. Lobar, go ahead and kick it off, man.
Yeah, man. This will probably go against past preheated takes either you or I or both of us made. But time changes and I just move with it. So
that's right.
Austin ends up. I'm predicting that Austin will end up with 0 voted All-Stars.
Oh,
maybe 1 coach's choice, but I don't think we're going to get any votes. Voted in players, that is.
Right. No, that's a safe pick. That's the voted qualifier is what got you there. No, that's good, man. I am also going to continue on that same kind of wave. Actually, I'm probably going to bring it down a couple more levels. My preheated take is that Austin will not win in the month of June. Two road matches and a home game against Eastern Conference opponent. And I'm not saying that we're not going to that we're going to lose. I'm just saying we're not going to win. But that's where I'm at, man.
Pick too, bud.
Right.
Come on, bro. Stand on business. Call a win for us.
Nah, bro. I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that.
Yeah, never know.
But yeah, let's go ahead and just jump into the match recaps.
Yep.
And so, I can't believe I wrote this, but I am going to go ahead and read it out loud. The end of May could not have been more shit, G. More points dropped at home and an embarrassing road defeat saw the Verde Black end the month with a dismal 0-3-4 record, not counting the cup matches. But we are still on track, speaking of the cup, for the longest open cup run in club history. So not all is lost. We are still very much on track for 2 trophies.
Yep.
But we'll see. 2 is hilarious, bro. But at least the 1, and even that's kind of funny now. But Lobar, how about you kick it off and tell us a little bit about RSL, what you thought about it, what stood out?
Yeah, man. In my memory, this game was a month and a half ago. So I'm going to do my best here. A few things that stood out that we saw play out in the San Diego game the following weekend is that Ilie and Savovic both picked up their 5th yellows and whatever the time frame is. So they both had to miss the game on accumulation. We saw that with the change in lineup for San Diego, which we'll get to. The big vibe thing for me was, one, Jean Komenich comes on late as a sub, gets the game tying assist, right? That continued his strong form in recent games coming off the bench. And then also, I talked to my dad about this because he's a big Diego Rubio fan, and he's been calling for him to get more playing time. Rubio comes on also late in the game and gets the equalizer off the Jean pass in. So, cool vibes there. One for us, as big Jean Komenich fans. Shout out to him. Keep it up, G.
Please.
Earn your spot. And then shout out Rubio, making my dad happy and making us not as sad to get the draw. But all in all, it was a 1-1 draw, right? You hate to see it at home against a struggling team. You hope that you come out with 3 points on that. But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of the same. We saw the DPs up top. They didn't do anything. They got subbed off first. They were the first guys off. It's just more not winning. That's a month of it is a frustrating time. So I don't really have much else to say about that game, to be honest. It was, I'll say generally it felt exciting. Just being at Q2 always kind of gives you a little bit of a Verde tinted glasses, like, oh, this is going to be a good one. And I thought we played okay against a shit team. right? But the
Yeah.
goal's going to come. I know Vasquez had some chances. He hits the crossbar, gets the fans excited, but
Hmm.
all in all, more disappointment. So, anything you want to add there?
Yeah, I think the only two things I would want to add is that I think going into this match, we were still waiting on, Dessler to come back, right, to full fitness. And I think
Yeah.
this was the first game, unless it was the Minnesota, but I want to say RSL was the one that he came back on. This was actually the first time where we had like a full slate of,
Sure.
healthy guys. And so like
Right.
that was a positive, I think, going into this match that I hope we could build on. But yeah, something about, $30 million, front three, not putting it back there. I mean,
Yeah.
you could have all the health in the world, bro, but if they're not kicking on, it's going to be tough. And then the second thing was, this is just a note to the club, Austin FC, media, if you could please figure out something about the post-match pressers with Nico and the journalists there that are asking questions. I don't know about you, man, if you happen to catch this one, but to anyone that tuned into that on YouTube, the audio quality is like someone was like filming it on a Nokia brick phone from 2005. Man, it was so
That's
bad. So yeah, I feel like there are plenty of fans out there that care enough to want to like check in on what is said after the match. So that just seems like an easy thing for the club to maybe prioritize and figure out. But anyway,
Get a hotspot that you bring with you with your laptop. Get a clip-on mic that TikTokers use to make videos, like
right,
even
little
his earbuds.
Okay.
Get some earbuds in there, Bluetooth, better quality. Make sure your hotspot's good to go. It's kind of that easy.
Yeah.
I'll lend my 5G hotspot if you need it. So,
Hey, there you go. For sure.
That's a good shout, though. Good shout. What about San Diego, man?
Yeah. So San Diego, man, that one was a trip, and I should preface this by saying, when you're at an away day, it's almost like your voluntary MRGA, because I think the expectation is that like you are the diehard supporters that are going away to like see your club. And shout out Murga, of course. It was out there leading the chants and whatnot. I was kind of towards the back, trying to watch the game, but also Pavlovian response. I'm going to get into it a little bit. So that said, watching the game, I had to definitely watch the game back, and I wanted to stab my eyes out that I wasted my life doing that because. As you alluded to earlier, we had Ilie and Sabovic out on a yellow card accumulation. And they also had Chucky Lozano back in full form, which we did not see when they traveled to Austin earlier in the season. And yeah, man, I think we lined up into 4-4-2. We still saw the same, DPs out there full in attack, but I think from the word go, man, San Diego was up for it. They wanted to definitely show out in front of their home crowd. I mean, I'm thinking back to that bike attempt by Alvarado that almost went in. You had Anders Dryers, with a couple of close shots, and I mean, Chucky was just doing his thing, and so it was. I mean, when that first goal went in, man, I mean, the roar. And like the blue, fireworks and the smoke coming out, man, it was just like, I wish I could just like run back to the hotel and, grab my towel and go hang on the beach or whatever. Cause I did not want to be there, but, yeah, all that. And then randomly toward the end, we had a Cascante injury. Right. And so we were playing down a man the rest of the time. And that's how they got the second goal. So it was just all in all, a shit game to watch. I did, however, make some friends outside of yourself, my guy. But I met a very lovely couple that they were enjoying their 39th wedding anniversary, and it was really sweet and kind of one of those moments where it's like the sport is bigger than the game itself. It really is about the community and all that stuff. And so Tila and Tim, I believe, all the best. Hope y'all enjoyed the trip at San Diego. Yeah, dude, now we're winless again, or continuing our winless form in the league. and that was our lowest XG game to date. I believe we had 0.2 on that, which makes complete sense. So yeah, man, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, you said everything that needed to be said. Shout out San Diego. They got a cool atmosphere. A bunch of fans. That's cool. They gave out towels. That was nice. We all got beach towels.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
The field was still shit, though.
Yeah.
Seeing that with our own eyes was kind of wild.
True. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting thing to, when you accommodate two professional leagues playing on the same field, plus college football over time. You're going to put a lot of wear on that field, but you would hope it's better. Yeah, it's kind of. We'll get in. I don't want to go too off right now. We'll get into this. I know next week we want to do like a mid-season recap or something along those lines. So I'm not going to go too deep into it. But you kind of look at the halfway point. We're 17 games in. 20 points is not good enough. We're sitting outside of the play-in at this point. Houston's ahead of us. Dallas is right behind us. And you got to think ownership is saying, okay, well, we spent a bunch of money on a bunch of players in the last 6 to 12 months, and we're getting next to nothing out of it with this coach. So that's unfortunate. We can't keep center backs healthy in this club historically, and it's continuing now with another injury at this short, halfway through the season at this point. But in 3.5 months of the season, it's just Julio's second big injury that he'll miss time in, assumingly. So, yeah, it's just it's a tough end to a tough month, and it was a little more fun because it was an away day, and we got other stuff to do around the game. So, do you want to give a little recap on the club activities or like the SG activities? Around the game?
Yeah, I can do that. So I would say it was really cool that we were able to collab with a group out there in San Diego, Chicano Futsal, to get a little bit of a SG hangout in and playing on a really cool court out there off what is that, Barrio Logan? Is that right?
Yeah, right.
And yeah, man, I mean, really wish you were there. That would have been awesome to, catch you out there. But I'm kidding. I'm kidding, bro. No, it was a good time. Met some really cool folks. Got some good ball in. And then after that, there was a nice little hangout over at Tom's Watch bar or something, which was just outside of Petco Park or whatever.
Padres Stadium.
The Padres Stadium was called. And so we had a chance to go over there, have some drinks, kind of hang out with some other fans. And then there was a really big fireworks show at the conclusion of that Padres game. And so that was fun to just kind of be out there and hanging out. And then, next day was just kind of choose your own adventure until the pregame, which was out in Old Town San Diego, which is really beautiful, by the way. It's like if you walk into Six Flags San Antonio and you're kind of in that kind of Spanish, early established, architecture and all that stuff. So that was cool. And then I don't know who found this, but there's a beautiful oak tree, just massive, where we all congregated and took pictures before heading onto the green line out towards the stadium.
Yep.
And yeah, man, I'm not. We already talked about the game, but yeah, after that, it was pretty much to each their own. Several folks stayed, I think, through Sunday. Some left a little bit earlier, but getting the chance to check out the city was really cool, man. How about you?
Yeah, it's a cool city. I wish, and if we did it again, I would have tried to make a bigger effort to make it to the pregame stuff and the club stuff. But just timing of everything. Lots of family.
There will be more away days for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. My mom changed her flight, so it was going to be 9 p.m. and ended up being 6:45, and that was the whole thing. Trying to get anyway. We all ended up together, and I had a good time. But the club stuff sounded badass. I'm glad you experienced that. It seemed that you took advantage of the public transit a lot, which was cool. And I know the away group tried to do that as well, with the tram to the game and all that. So, but I had a great time, man. The game was what it was, but the before and after was fun. Bunch of family around. Got to hang out with you a couple times as well. Ended up going to the Padres game on Sunday.
Nice.
Went to the beach. Had a lot of fun outside of the game. So, little frustrating few hours around the game, but otherwise a good time. Got a little tan action. Ate a bunch of good food.
Yeah, man.
What was your food highlight of the away trip?
I will bring the group chat out into the public here for a second, and it's less of a highlight, more of a dunk, but it's a light dunk. I think learning that they call flautas rolled tacos was probably my highlight. It's
funny you say that, because you go to a taco shop, they have flautas on the menu and they have rolled tacos on the menu. I don't know if you
the
noticed
weirdest
that.
thing. Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, they're just the long taquito things that you'll get, like the frozen ones.
Yeah,
but they're better.
Cali Tex or whatever frozen food section. Yeah,
right.
No, it was fantastic,
cheese.
man. But yeah, I think there was. Oh gosh, I was in Barrio Logan. It was after the futsal thing. I stopped at a taco shop, and I couldn't tell you what it was called, but
that's fine. I do that way.
Yeah, they had some really good tacos over there, and then I think it was on Ocean Beach. It was the Nico's that you were talking about. It had the Cali burrito out there, and it was a vibe, man. Like I had my AirPods in, dude. I was listening to a little Michael Kiwanuka, and just kind of like it was a little gloomy out there in the sun, just eating a burrito, looking at the waves, bro. I was like, I get it. I get the vibe. I'm not paying for this lifestyle, though.
No, it's the most expensive city in the country to live in. So
that's crazy. Is it really? I didn't know that. I thought New York had that, but
San Francisco last year. So
sheesh.
It's a beautiful town though. Great food.
Yeah.
I think for me, man, I'm trying to think vibes wise. Of course, Nico's is it, right? Get a breakfast burrito, get a Cali burrito. Get
the Italian was good.
Yep. What was it?
The Italian was good. That we shared that one meal.
The Italian spot. It was actually, I'm sure everyone's seen this at this point, but my fiance and her sister and I found this last fall when we went to San Diego, an Italian spot called Buona Forchetta, which has now become nationally famous because of the ice raid that happened on May 30th. So, fuck all that shit. We went and supported. We planned to go regardless, and then while we were there, it got raided, which is bullshit. But it was cool to go to the neighborhood and see the community rallying. Like there's chalk everywhere and signs everywhere of like the community supporting the workers and their families, and shitting on ICE, which is always cool to see. Not to make this political, but it should be. So anyway, but it was good to go support and like eat good food and hang out, and the community was behind them, and they were happy to see it. And I know, anyway, great Italian food though. But I think for me, I think answering the question, Nico's obviously is great, but I think it's a 1A and 1B for me. We got Blue Water Seafood, and that was amazing. It's like just next to the airport. That place rules. We got a bunch of oysters. We got crab and shrimp sandwiches, and like a fish plate or a calamari plate and some other stuff. That was just amazing. I think that's 1A, and then 1B is this place called Fred Cell Filipino, and it's just a bunch of beef lumpia and adobo and pancit and other stuff that's really good. Chicken tocino, which is not bacon. It's just chicken drumsticks, but in like a cool red marinade. That's good. It was great food. Filipino food rocked. Seafood rocked. I think those are my favorites. So shout out San Diego for being a good spot. It's a good away day. If you ever get a chance to go, do it. I mean, you get the chance to go every year, so do it.
That's true. It's a good place to catch an L for sure. It would be even nicer to get an away win out there.
Yes,
but yeah,
when we got a new coach, so
that's right. Well, I was hoping that you would end on the Italian restaurant thing, because that was a perfect segue into our league's correspondence and Serie A. But that's fine, Filipino food is amazing and the cuisine is incredible. But how about you kick it off and tell us what's going on in Italy, or what has happened out in Italy with Serie A?
Yeah, got you. So since we last checked in, the Serie A season came to a close. We saw Napoli enter Atalanta, and Juventus secure the 4 Champions League spots. Roma will be competing in Europa League, and Fiorentina secure the Conference League play-in spot.
Nice.
It's a little bit of drama. It could have been drama. Juventus placed just 1 point ahead of Roma for that 4-5 spot, last champions in the Europa spot, securing a 3-2 victory on a 73rd minute penalty to guarantee their place in Champions League. Roma won their game, so if it ended up being a draw, Roma would have secured the spot instead. At the other end of the table, though, we see Empoli, Venezia, and Monza relegated to Serie B, while Sassuolo, Pisa, and Cremonese are being promoted from B to A. So two of the teams that moved up last year stay. I think if that's the case, I think Venezia was the only team that promoted last year that's being relegated again.
Yeah.
So a little parity moment there for the league. Looking at Champions League play, we saw Inter Milan fall to PSG in the final in devastating fashion, being dragged across the pitch in a 5-0 defeat. After putting 7 goals on Barcelona in 2 matches, Inter only managed 2 shots on target in the final. It was tough to see. And, this is why people laugh at Serie A.
Right.
In other news, the offseason has begun. Some things coming out already. AC Milan are making big moves with their roster. They've already bagged 140 million off the sales of Tonali and Reinders, while rumors circle that Rafa Leao and goalkeeper Menya, who is linked to Chelsea, are on their way out. So we might be seeing a new addition. But the asking price is insane. So either way, they're looking for a fire sale to make a lot of changes and make some money. Inter Milan are pushing hard to bring in Como manager Cesc Fabregas, and Chelsea legend. Bring him in as their new gaffer. And more big moves are primed to come as we move further into the offseason. So there's a bunch of rumors swirling. I won't do all of them, but new coaches coming in left and right. A lot of players rumored to be sold, guys to be moved across from interleague transfers. So a lot going on there. But more to come in some stoppage time and our next check-in.
For sure. And we'll keep that going. Pretty much, I mean, that's actually a really good point now of how we want to continue that, because theoretically we started leagues correspondence at the start of the MLS season.
Right.
But we can continue. That's more off air.
Maybe
but
it's more of a transfer league conversation, throughout the European off season. We see
exactly
where Serie A plays within the transfer market. We'll figure it out. But we do have the J League, who will be on the same calendar. So why don't you take us off there?
For sure. So J League is very similarly in the midway part of their season. They just finished up match day 19. A couple of clubs have played like 1 or 2 more games, specifically looking at Urara, who will be participating in the Club World Cup. More on that later. But looking at the top of the table, we have Kashima Antlers remaining top of the pack with 40 points. And that's 6 clear of the logjam that is 2nd through 4th places, all tied at 24 points apiece. 34 points apiece. And that is in order: Kyoto Sanga, Urara Red Diamonds, and then Kawashi Reysol. Down at the bottom, you have FC Tokyo, Albirex Niigata, and Yokohama Marinos, which round out the bottom 3 clubs. But again, still midway through the season. And it's actually really interesting because Yokohama did just come out with 2 strong back-to-back wins against top of the table Kashima and also middle of the pack Machida Zelvia, scoring 6 goals out of those 2 matches and allowing only 1. So that's like LA Galaxy going on a winless run and then just smacking the hell out of Vancouver, 3-0. And then coming back and then beating another middle of the pack team. Crazy stuff out there. Then looking at the lone J-League representative to the Club World Cup, you have Urara, who are one of 4 AFC teams playing in the summer tournament. And they have made 3 previous appearances in the Club World Cups prior. Their 4th place finish in the last iteration of the Club World Cup suggests that this club does take the competition very seriously, and this year they are grouped with Sebastian Driussi's River Plate, Champions League frauds Inter Milan, and then the smaller Monterrey club, Pumas. And so, a cool story about them is the arrival of 34-year-old attacking midfielder Genki Haraguchi, who had spent the previous decade in the Bundesliga 2, kind of back and forth between relegated clubs there. But coming back to the J-League to help Urara, Japanese team, out on the big stage. And so that's going to be a player to kind of keep an eye out for anyone interested in keeping up with the J-League there.
Good shots. Good shots on the Club World Cup stuff, too. I didn't get into that from the Serie A stuff, but Juventus is playing. Who Who else? Is it just them from?
I think Juve and
Serie A?
Inter, I believe.
Inter, yes.
And
Thank
that
you.
might be it. But it's not like they're winning it anyway. So,
Good point. Good
anyway.
point.
Well, we will be right back after the AC Memento ad to talk a little bit more about the Colorado Rapids preview and then be on our way. Yo, Lobar, I was looking at your memento from the game last Saturday, and that picture was fire, dude. Why don't you talk to the people and tell them about their new favorite app?
For sure, man. Memento is your sports scrapbook for Austin FC. Your games, your stats, your scores, a memento for every moment. Every memento is yours to personalize. Add your photos from Q2, tag the homies, and relive your unique experience. Every memento is packed with stats, so watch as your sports history grows as you add a memento for each game. From Austin FC to NWSL and NCAA to the Premier League, NFL, and NBA. Track your fan experience from the palm of your hand.
Help the pod out by downloading Memento today. Follow the link in our description or on our socials to start tracking your mementos. Thanks. And we're back. We opened June off at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, home of the Colorado Rapids, who sit 8th in the West with 6-6-4 record. A pair of draws followed by a pair of road wins, including the 1-0 win at Q2, was how they opened the season up and then have lingered around the middle of the table for the past few weeks. Due to their 7th place finish last year, they did not have to play any Open Cup games during the month of May. Instead, they will be playing in Leagues Cup. So because of that, they had a couple games less than us. But anyway, Lobar, how do you feel heading into this match?
Man, it's tough to feel hopeful, right? Like, unless I'm at Q2 20 minutes before kickoff, it's hard to be like, yeah, man, we're going to win and we're going to do really well and we're going to play interesting and dynamic soccer that has a creative attacking style and it puts fear into the opponent. We just don't have that at all. So it's hard for me to be like, yeah, we're going to win. It's like it's starting to wear on me to every week be like, we're going to win though. We're going to win this one. Maybe.
Right.
It's also an away game, right? We haven't done well on the road really at all, but since the beginning of the season. And so, yeah, man, it's tough. Like, you could say anything about the team, and we're sitting in 10th, so it doesn't really matter. Like, we're not like it's not like we're on some good run of form, and we're we can challenge people confidently. I'm kind of at the point where the team needs to prove to me, and I'm sure there's many fans that feel that way. Like, prove to me that you're worth betting on.
Yeah.
Like, I say that figuratively, but also literally for our gambling friends.
Yeah.
So it's just in a tough stretch, man. Like, I feel kind of meh, like, we'll see, because every metric they're doing better than us. So cool,
Yeah.
I don't know if I have confidence in our coach to kind of right the ship from an offensive standpoint, to really get people the touches they need to get and create the opportunities for our, historically dynamic players who may not have looked as dynamic in Verde Black.
True.
So, man, it's tough. It's tough. We'll see, bro. I'm sorry. I wish it was more positive for you and the listener, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's just like, I mean, shit, maybe.
I feel that,
yeah.
man. And it's sad because I know we've been on this podcast for a minute now, and you've had your moments, and I know I've had my moments, and this year I've definitely been more of that guy. But to hear you just now, especially after the month that we had, bro, and you just not manifesting and being the old low bar that we've come to, lean on in terms of, the Verde, bro, that it kind of breaks my heart a little bit.
I mean,
I blame this team, bro, but more importantly, I blame Nico, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I blame that. Fair. I'm blaming that guy right there. But anyway, man, all that to say, that's tough to hear you say that, bro. I'm sorry.
I mean, we haven't won a league game since April 19th. So it's like, it's going to be that way.
Yeah.
Week after week until we
There's
win.
still a trophy to be had, though. You know what I'm saying? Like we're
True.
still in play for Open Cup. So I think that's what I'm telling myself is the league is meh, dude. You know,
Yeah.
like let's win 3 more games and get a trophy, and then sack them and then get a better coach. You know, I don't know.
That San Diego or that San Jose team scares me. So we'll get that's a couple weeks away. We'll get to that another day.
Yeah. Whew. All right. Anyway, I will add that some notable injury notes for Colorado did include that goalkeeper Zach Steffen and midfielder Cole Bassett were out against their 2-1 loss at Portland last week. And their right back, Keegan Rosenberry, was out, but not due to injury. And then also forward, Rafael Navarro was last listed as questionable because, side note, of course we can't have nice things for our best ball team. But also in real life, you know, he might be back. We'll see.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, none of that makes me feel more helpful. At least at this point. But please.
I will say, I remember specifically the second game whenever we played Colorado.
Yeah, our first matchup.
Steffen was playing lights out, dude. Like we were actually generating chances and we were actually shooting on target.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that dude had like 7 saves or something.
No, you're right.
You know, so if he's still out, I don't know, man. I feel a little bit better. I feel about the same as I did with this team going against Atlanta and against RSL. Like, this is a game that I feel we should be able to win. But if we do the same thing that we did in San Diego, bro, I really hope for those fans, you know, like it is Den Verde though. So where we got our first win, you know, sometimes things are spiritual like that. We'll see.
Like the spiritual brainwashing. I'm here for it, bro. Like we were down 2-0 in San Diego, and I was like, bro, Poyo, like, let's go.
I know, right? That's what. Yeah, I was like, hey, man, I was in DC. I remember this game.
Yeah,
you know. And
I was like, CJ
bro.
Fogerty's in, bro, against his hometown club, like, cook, bro.
Bro, those DPs came off, dude, and I was about ready to just head on down.
Bro, I should have got stuck.
I know, dude. That was crazy.
That
was crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. Looking historically at the matchup earlier this year with Stephen Cleveland and doing his thing. I'm sorry, Stephen Cleveland. Shout out Stephen Cleveland. Random. Zach Steffen doing his thing, getting those saves. That's cool and all, but like, bro, the post will have more action than Zach Steffen in our current form. The fans behind the goal will get more saves than he does. So, you know, we got to get a shot on target to challenge a keeper. And we're just struggling doing that. So 1 on target, anyway, 2 on the roof. Bro. Let's get some predictions, dude. Enough of the sadness.
Oh man, you
bro, 3-1 win, Austin. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Look at this boy.
I'm kidding.
Oh, that's funny, man. No, I think I'm telling you, man. I don't have us winning in June, but I do have us drawing hella, bro. I think 2-2, bro.
That's cute. I like that.
That's a fun
vibe. I would be happy.
Yeah.
I'm feeling more like a 0-0 best case scenario.
Fuck. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 2-2 does sound kind of whack now that I say it out loud, huh?
Right.
And like everyone else just heard me say that. Oh, okay, can I take that back, bro?
We've played 19 games this year, including Open Cup, and I think only 3 of them have had 2 goals or more.
Okay, 1-1.
So, yeah. There you go. A little more realistic.
There you go.
I think it's going to be like a 0-0, 1-0 kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But shit, dude, please surprise me. Give me that Houston Open Cup magic week in and week out, and I'll repent every negative thing I said this episode and all other episodes.
100%.
I'm easy. I'm an easy convert. So,
yeah.
But I think like 0-0 best case scenario is what I'm hoping for, so we can get a point. That's all I got for you.
That's crazy, bro.
I know.
Down bad FCG. Anyway.
Nico's Neves FC. Goddamn.
Anyway. But we're not Nico out, right? Wink, wink. I don't know.
Yeah, give me a week. We'll talk about that next week.
There you go, G. We'll be the first ones. Full voice, bro.
Preview for next week. I'm going to say some wild shit.
Yeah.
All right. Preview over.
There you go. Oh my gosh. Let's get off that train and head into
Please.
stoppage time. All right. Looking for our first point, we have John Gallagher and Brendan Hines-Ike appearing at the 5-4 restaurant in Cedar Park today, for you listener, Thursday, from 6:30 to 8 p.m.
Hell yeah, dude. Go out and see them. This hasn't been on them. We got Iron Man, John Gallagher.
For real,
PHI
man.
is pretty cool. So, like,
Pay
I'm
your
not going to be
respects.
there because that's far away and I have work.
Yeah.
But you should if you're nearby. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Heard that.
That's all I got.
I feel that. I was just gonna say, pay your respects, man. You know, like Gally
Sure.
has been an Olympian, you know, in the month of May, and
Yep.
he's been doing his thing. And Brendan, you know, a little bit more
Him.
rotated, but you know, he's him. So
So,
anyway, looking on, we have LAFC beating America down bad, LOL, to claim the final Club World Cup spot.
boo. That shit's boring. I don't care.
Oh damn. Okay, like that. All right.
No, it's good for. I mean, it's good for MLS teams who are good, who have to face LAFC over the next couple months.
Yeah.
Because add another competition on top of all the shit they have going on already. So, the rich get richer, literally. I think they get like 10 million just for showing up.
This is true.
LAFC does, and if they do anything, which they won't, because Chelsea FC is coming to town. But if they do anything, you know, and end up dark horsing it, they get more and more money. So, you know, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I saw a tweet from Fabian, who we've had on the podcast before. He tweeted something funny like, "Did LAFC just get 10 million in GAM?"
That's
from
pretty much
from
what
that
happened.
result, which feels like a very MLS thing to say, but
Don
yeah,
Garber said, "Here you go.
yeah.
Have fun."
I
They
just
had to beat America, whatever. That's
Right.
cool. But
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh at the America loss because you know that loss on top of the, you know, Liguilla final loss.
right.
That's hilarious, bro. Anyway,
It's fun.
Yeah, looking ahead, we've got Ronaldo leading Portugal to the Nations League final in 2-1 W over Germany. They await the winner of France versus Spain. What we got there?
Oh, I mean, meanwhile, what's Messi doing, bro?
Ooh,
Down in Miami? Who's the GOAT now, bro? Shit.
dang, not my
No,
goat, bro.
I'm just talking shit. That's cool, though, that Ronaldo's still doing shit at 47 or whatever. So, nice, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
They're going
The
to get
next
smacked
chapter
by
awaits.
France or Spain. Pick one. But
For real.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Hell yeah, man. Looking over in CONCACAF land, we have Cruz Azul melting the Whitecaps, brother, in another continental record 5-0 final win.
Yeah, tough.
That was...
And, like, that's a different vibe than, like, Inter being beat 5-0 by PSG, at least in my opinion, right? Because, like, the Whitecaps are kind of them this year. Like, they really are a very good team this year. And they've been able to successfully kind of straddle all the competitions they're a part of and still compete well in both competition or both league play and CCC. So, tough to see. It's also, you know, looking at, like, the Liga MX or, like versus MLS or, you know, Mexico versus CONCACAF vibe, like, you know, damn, couldn't get them this time. You know, add it to the pile of trophies that Mexico has against CONCACAF competition. But, you know, shout out Vancouver. This is probably just a blip in their season. They're still going to be very good. So,
okay.
that's my thought.
Nice. Yeah, I get the feeling that this might be the start of a little bit of a down drag for them, high key. Because I feel like the way that they came about so strong and then to just capitulate like that, it marks something a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. If I will be totally, you know, proven wrong if, you know, Brian White comes back and throws another brace on the grill, you know, next week and it's all is good again.
I will say you make a good point. Just looking at their June schedule, they got Seattle, Columbus, San Diego, LAFC. Right, so like it could be the start of a little skid. It's not really going to change their standing. You know, they're still going to be a top 3 team in the West, even if they lose 4 straight. So you can assume. But they got 3 good teams up next, so you could be on something there, bro. You could be on something.
I feel that. I feel that. Looking over at the Eastern Conference, we have Chicago Fire announcing plans for a new downtown soccer-specific stadium, whopping $650 million. Damn, that's a lot, bro. And that would be near their new training facility, bro. Talk to us a little bit about that, G.
That's a lot of money, bro. I think
M's.
what Q2 was like a third of that or something. Is that right? 250 million? That rings a
Maybe.
bell.
I don't know,
It's
bro.
a
I
lot of
didn't
money.
pay it.
Granted, it is Chicago, and but yeah, I think they're doing the right thing. It always confuses me when a training facility is miles away from a stadium. Um, yeah, I
Shout
know
out
it's
Cobham.
normal in a lot of older cities with newer clubs who are, having to accommodate with a lack of space. So
Right.
shout out to Chicago for making it happen because they are an old city with not a lot of new space, and they made it work. So
Yeah.
yeah, but that's just a lot of money, and with them and is it NYCFC who have the big one that we talked about a couple months ago
Mm-hmm.
as well. Just the league keeps growing in a financial way, at least.
Yeah.
Now that we've hit 30 teams, probably not any more than that, maybe. But yeah, it's a good sign for the club, for the league, when a team can drop 650 when they haven't done shit in a while. They still have that kind of money behind them. So
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think for me, it's just really interesting that, as we start seeing the investment in MLS clubs specifically, it all just kind of adds to, these owners' portfolios. And so it's like, why not go ahead and throw a nice, shiny, soccer specific stadium out on there, and I'm curious to see where the Fire ranked in terms of like the Sportico, MLS team valuations and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I bet you after this, like, it'll pop up quite a couple of spots there. So,
For sure.
just
sure.
interesting things there.
Yeah.
Looking more closely at home, we have our very own Austin Rise beginning their TST campaign Thursday evening against the U.S. women team, and that's at 5:30 Central Time. And I believe the broadcast is going to be on ESPN Plus. So if you have an ESPN Plus account, you can check those ladies doing their thing against the U.S. women. That is definitely a heavy matchup,
David
but
Goliath kind of vibe.
You want to see it?
Dude. Yeah.
Chance for $1 million, dude. Semi-pro team. Let's get it.
Really cool that, we talked about it when it was first announced, but now that it's actually starting, it's just want to say again, like, how cool it is and how important it is for women's soccer in Austin to get this type of exposure.
Right.
And especially a club with the city's name in it, right? Like, that just, it's all working out to where the branding and the culture and the leadership of Austin Rise and getting this opportunity, getting some good players in for the roster, right? Some legitimate names is cool. People who've played at some higher levels professionally and whatnot. So that's just awesome. It makes it exciting, and that's like right now for the listener, probably like it could be right now. Turn on ESPN Plus right now, and it's happening.
Do it.
So
Yeah.
do it right now.
And I just want to add on their social media, if you don't follow the Rise on Instagram, their story earlier had, because it's media day on this day of recording, but they had a little video snippet of Pat McAfee. I know that's a little bit of a controversial figure for some, but like, Pat wearing the Austin Rise scarf, and it was just like, that's cool, man. Like, you like to see that kind of, just like you were saying, the brand awareness and the growth there.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's how it is.
That's how it be.
All right. In more women's footy, we have the U.S. women's national team cruising past China and Jamaica friendlies, winning 3-0 and 4-0 respectively. Sir.
As expected, bro.
Yeah.
It's just what we do out here.
Simple.
Emma Hayes football. We do
Love
our
to see
thing,
it.
and I have nothing else to say about that. I'm
Do
excited
you know the name Ali Sentner by chance?
I don't, and I'm ashamed to say that. Teach me.
You should learn fast, my man. You should learn fast, because she's going to be the next like big time like women's team striker, bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
But she's right now languishing in Utah Royals, so trying to keep that club alive single-handedly.
Little Utah Royals vibe, shit.
I mean, they're down bad. I mean, they're like
I
Houston,
know.
bro. But
I know.
anyway, all that to say is that's my you know women's hot
You
take there.
put me on. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then last but not least, we have our Chelsea, who just recently signed Liam Delap from Ipswich and have also moved on from Sancho with no agreement on the salary demands. And, Sancho will return to Manchester United. And then
Yep.
on the women's side, Joanna Kennerid inks a 2-year extension to stay at Chelsea Women's. Go off, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, yes.
God forbid a white boy catch a vibe, and I hope that Liam Delap does, because we're spending money on him, and
I mean,
he's
30
coming
mil,
from
it's not, it's
Ipswich.
nice.
Yeah, but still, I mean, we need a striker. We have just one with Nico Jackson, and
Yeah.
I know that Broya is still kind of weirdly around, right? Or no, he got sold, didn't he, to Fulham officially?
I low-key forgot about Broya, not going to lie.
Hey, who cares about him? Let's move on.
Honestly.
Mark Guiu is still around, right? Well, maybe. We don't know what's going to happen the rest of the transfer
Yeah.
window, but it'll be good to have some competition. The price tag isn't horrible,
Yeah.
but a lot of people were, last summer it was Victor Osimhen, and the other big names come around and big price tags, and landing on Delap is interesting. So,
Yeah.
catch that vibe, bro.
No, for real, man.
Else.
Yeah. And I
It's-
think, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go for it, bro. Go for it, please.
I was just going to say ahead of the Club World Cup too, right? Because since they're participating in that, they get to have this little transfer window. And so, to see them knocking out this business early is always a plus, because obviously Maresca wants to do more than just win this trophy, but also, that preseason kind of action to get this team ready for, his second season. It's going to be good, man. I'm excited.
I agree. Tough to see Sancho go. I thought he was a fun addition, right? A good story. He had some good moments. Wasn't always the best, but he did his part to help us get back into Champions League. No one can say the otherwise. So
Yeah.
rumor has it that he was asking for crazy money, or his agent was asking for crazy money,
Mhm.
and it's just tough to see that happen. But best of luck to him wherever he ends up. And
Yeah.
then of course, Kinnerid,
Our winger, Bay.
our winger starlet out in Chelsea Women's.
Yes.
Glad to see her stick around. She was awesome for the team this year, so I hope to see more of that. And I know she's hungry, like the rest of the ladies, to finally get that Champions League glory and get the elusive trophy. So hopefully she sticks around and keeps getting better and makes it happen for us.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
for
dude.
real, man. Dope. All right. Well, as always, we appreciate y'all kicking it with us on this week's episode of the Verdependent Podcast. I'm Paul Fletes. You can catch me on Twitter at PaulAndrewFC, government name.
That was a government name. Yo, how could I skip that?
Bro,
and I'm Logan Bartlett. You can find me at LobarBHLM on all the stuff.
Yeah. And as always, keep the chatter going online by following at the Verdependent on socials. Bro, it's June, and I know we haven't necessarily been really good with the posting recently, but I think publicly we need to try and challenge ourselves to do a little bit more.
If we can get more posts, then the team can get goals this month. I'll be happy.
That's a good challenge, G. I'm so down. I think we're about to see so many fucking posts now.
Bro, at
It's
least
gonna
2.
happen.
Maybe even 1.
I think we
And we might still have more posts than the team has goals.
Oh my gosh, yes. Anyway.
Here you go. For every goal, we'll post at least 1 extra.
There you go. I like that. And before we leave, we just want to remind you again, as always, if you haven't done so already, to please consider subscribing to the Verdependent Podcast and leaving a review wherever you listen to us, and share these episodes with your Verde friends. That's an episode, y'all. Peace.
Peace, y'all. Paul, why are you screaming at me?
Oh my God.